Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It's Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Now, today, I wanted to do a quick video about the NFL and the Super Bowl. Now, I found a clip on TikTok where this guy, Bubba Smith, who was an NFL legend, by the way, he talked about how back in his second Super Bowl, I believe, because he was drafted the #1 overall pick in 1967, he won a Super Bowl in 1970, but I think he played in two of them, one of them that he lost, and he spoke about how the Super Bowls were rigged and they were fixed. Bubba Smith is considered a legend amongst the football world. Supposedly, he also had CTE when he died. Now, I think he died from multiple reasons. It was high blood pressure, heart disease, and they say he had CTE as well. Now, his brain ended up being one of the 94 brains that were studied after some of these NFL players died. It reminds me of Junior Seau. For a lot of NFL fans, you know that Junior Seau, he was a beast in the NFL, and he died by suicide. And they said the main cause of death was CTE. It was nothing else. He suffered from the brain disease and went crazy, and he killed himself. So we all know, CTE was basically exposed a long time ago, and the NFL was forced to let the public know that a lot of their players were suffering from this brain disease, something that they kept under wraps for a long time in the name of not ruining football for kids, basically. They have to keep kids wanting and dreaming to be in the NFL. Things like that will make their parents not let them play anymore because they could suffer from a brain disease by the time they're 30 years old and basically kicked and washed up out of the league, which I'm not saying that's a conspiracy because it's very true, but it was also something very sinister that they chose to cover up for a long time and acted like they didn't know that it was going on. Now, Bubba Smith just happened to be one of the many players that suffered from CTE as well. Like I said, Bubba Smith is now dead. He died in 2011 at the age of 66 years old. But the thing is, they didn't say he died exactly from high blood pressure, heart disease, or CTE. They just said he had CTE. They said he died from a drug overdose of a medicine that was for weight loss. Now, I found that to be weird because a 66-year-old former, NFL athlete still trying to lose weight at that age just happened to die from a drug that was helping him lose weight. Found it to be pretty weird. He died August 3rd, 2011 at the age of 66. So that's just to give y'all a little bit of background about Bubba Smith. And if I didn't mention, he actually moved on to become a very successful actor. Without talking too much, I do want to show y'all this clip real quick. And then I want to come back and talk about how the current Super Bowl that is about to happen on Sunday is very obviously placed.
Super Bowl III, Baltimore Colts, the power of the NFL, taking out the upstart New York Jets from the AFL. You guys were the biggest favorite in Super Bowl history, right? No way you could lose. You end up losing 16-7. What happened?
Well, I personally think the game was fixed.
The game was fixed.
Yeah.
Why?
So Michael and his peers can make the money that they'll make.
Michael Irvin, you made the league better. Is that what you're saying? If you guys lost?
See, if the Jets don't win that game, then they don't have the NFL the way it is today.
Oh, because it was the merger. It was
the merger. That was the third.
How did they fix a game like that?
See, the quarterback.
Yeah.
If you remember, we were inside the 25 times in the first half.
Right.
And come away with no points.
Right.
Which is not a characteristic of a Colt team.
But nobody came to you and said, "Hey, Bubba, here's
No.
Well, who did they go to? Sorry.
You see how Bubba looked at Chris?
You trying to get me killed.
But who did? So they went to the quarterback. That's what you feel. That's what you feel.
I know he was in on it.
Yeah.
If you go way back and look at all the Super Bowls when it's Super Bowl week, now they run every Super Bowl, right?
Right.
Now, when you get to 3 this year, when you just happen to be watching it, you'll see Jimmy Orr standing down in the end zone like this. Nobody is within 30 yards of him. He's the primary receiver.
Right.
And Earl never looked that way.
You're talking about Earl Morrall, your quarterback there. Was there ever a time during the game?
You're really trying hard.
Well, I mean, we can all look it up there. Please don't punch me.
Please do.
Don't hurt him.
Did this come to you years later, the day of the game? I mean, 'cause this is kind of serious stuff here that you're throwing out on the table.
No, this was the day of the game.
That you felt that
the
way.
night of the game. The night, you know, I went to what was supposed to be a victory party at Carol's house, Rosenblum.
Right.
And I don't drink. So, you know that term, knock the poison off? You know, so I had 2 sips of champagne. And I was sitting there, and this guy was on the dance floor, and I didn't understand it. We just lost the biggest
And he was
game.
celebrating.
Yeah, we just lost the biggest game of our life. You know, how many times do you get in that position?
Right.
And it just pissed me off. You know, and I went up on the dance floor and I grabbed him and I threw him out on one of those tables and they asked me to leave. You know, and on the way home, on the way back to the hotel, I'm in a cab, and you know you can look up and you see the cab driver looking at you, and I said I looked at him about 3 times before I said anything, and he said, "Are you Bubba Smith?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, don't feel bad." He said, "Smart money was on the Jets." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "It came down high there that put your money on the Jets."
So was Earl Morrall driving the cab too?
Okay, that's enough. You are a dirty man. You are a dirty man. That is not nice.
No,
Now, from the moment these two became an item, if you were not paying attention, you could see what was being done here from the jump. Now, I think everything is rigged for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're clearly making Patrick Mahomes the next great, the next, face of the NFL. They need someone to replace Tom Brady and, the value Brady had to the NFL and his organization, which was the Patriots. They're now repeating the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And it's like they added a little bit more sprinkle to it as well with this whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing. That's why I said from the moment she got with him, I already knew the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl. They could lose the game, but I think the point of it is so the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl and they make the most money off of entertainment that they possibly can. But we can clearly see that this is for entertainment. That's what the NFL is. That's what everything is. The NBA, wrestling. It is entertainment. It's for money. It's for numbers. It's for views. Taylor Swift has already made what the NFL or the Chiefs or something like over $300 million since she got with Kelce. So, a blind person could see that the NFL is going to go where the money is going. And right now, that is with Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce. So I guess I'm doing this video for the people out there who think that this stuff is not controlled. And there's still kids who are going to grow up and have a dream to be in the NFL just like I did, just like a bunch of you did, a bunch of you men that may be watching this video. I just thought it would be cool to do this video considering that the Super Bowl is Sunday and we always need a reminder of what is actually going on. Now that clip that we watched with Bubba Smith, I completely believe it. I'm pretty sure they were rigging games way back then as well because the Mafia was more involved in it back then.
Let me talk about some of the major charges. And I just jotted down a few of the. I mean, you're saying, for example, virtually every team owner gambles on football teams.
Well, I'm saying that no fewer than 26
That's
NFL team owners have documented ties. Past and present NFL team owners have documented business ties to either the gambling community and/or the organized crime syndicate. I'm also saying that no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed.
now that's pretty rough stuff. You're saying no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed. You mean the outcome, the point spread, what?
I'm saying the points were shaved and thereby fixed. Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, I first got into this about 1983. Vincent Persani, who is the head of the Michigan State Attorney General's Office Organized Crime Division, told me, if you're going to do a book about the NFL, Dan, you're going to have to get into this guy, Don Dawson, because he was fixing games. We knew it. I went to my friends and my sources at the Internal Revenue Service, the Organized Crime Intelligence Division. They said Don Dawson was fixing games. I went to the FBI, the Organized Crime and Racketeering Section of the Justice Department, and Strike Force field offices. Everybody told me what Don Dawson was fixing games. At that point, I had enough evidence to print that allegedly Don Dawson was fixing NFL games. He was a major bookmaker in the Midwest. I then went to Dawson, I tracked him down, I jumped through all kinds of hoops to interview him, and when I interviewed him on about the 7th or 8th interview, he admitted to me that he had personally participated in the fixing of no fewer than 32 NFL games.
How does that happen?
He liked to work with the quarterback. He would go to the quarterback would come to him and say, I need some bread. What's the line on the game this week? And the bookmaker would say, you guys are favored by 6 points. And then the reply was, we're not going to cover the spread. And basically that was it.
Now, do you name players?
Oh, sure. I name players. And also in 1979, I go into the specifics of 8 fixed games that were allegedly fixed by 2 referees who were investigated by both the FBI and the IRS. And I list the 8 games on page 308 of the book.
Yeah. Are drugs involved in this at all?
Yeah, drugs are the real variable in all of this. I mean, when a drug dealer has a relationship with a player, there's an extortionate edge to that situation whereby that dealer has that player's career in his hands because of the drug policies within the NFL for throwing a person out. Within the past few years, no fewer than 9 NFL teams have been investigated because their players were receiving drugs from gamblers.
Now that guy told you exactly what Bubba Smith told you, that they're mostly rigged through the quarterback and the referees, which makes it easy and I guess undetectable to people who don't really pay attention to it. Now, I think we've discussed that clip before. I'm not really sure. We've done so many videos. Sometimes I'll forget if I posted a clip before, but I kept that one short just in case I put that in another NFL video, but just for context, it was another person who was trying to expose the NFL, and that was back in the 80s or the 90s, whenever that little interview aired on TV. And he said it's the same exact thing that Bubba Smith said. Now, once the NFL went through all of that, I think in 2007, they got sued by a season ticket holder for the Jets, who just happened to be a lawyer. The lawyer tried to sue the NFL because he recognized things were rigged, and he tried to sue them for a lack of integrity. That is when the NFL decided to register as a sports entertainment league because they were basically caught. They've been caught for a long time, but I think maybe that guy got really close to being able to win that case. When the NFL registered as a sports entertainment league, he was no longer able to sue them because they basically had the right to rig and fix games in a sense because it's all entertainment. So yeah, man, I just wanted to keep that video short in light of the Super Bowl coming on this Sunday. Just like I said, I thought we should get a reminder. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed that video. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. And we still have the Vince McMahon video coming up. I think we'll drop that tomorrow. So yeah, man, it's Black Balloon, and I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm out.